Good evening and welcome to the second day of the Intel Extreme Masters Taipei secondary stream with Roddy, and we are getting ready to once again cast a couple of games for you guys. Of course, we are still here in California, but we will make sure that you guys can catch all the action of the Intel Extreme Masters in Taipei. Nate, yesterday, pretty good, lots of ZvZs. Today we start off with a ZvZ, but after that it's going to be truly sick as Group A and B will be played today.
After that, it's going to be truly
Well,
sick,
maybe
Roddy.
the ZvZ can be really sick too, but
I've had my fill of ZvZs.
Yeah,
so far from this
ZvZ is
tournament.
like a hamburger. It's really good, but don't eat too many because then you kind of need a break of it. Right? Don't you have that?
Isn't that like anything, though?
Yeah. Well, not everything.
What food can you just eat non-stop, Kev? That you don't
Buffalo
need a
Wild
break
Wings.
of? Okay.
Korean.
I could eat bulgogi for days.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah,
All right.
there are definitely a few things that I would not get sick of.
I won't lie. I'm
Those Quest bars.
Yeah. Okay. That's true.
Anyways,
I'm more excited to see. We didn't get to cast any Terran yesterday.
Yep.
I want to see Terran.
That's true, Nate. You have to do an entire broadcast.
For some
without a
reason,
single Terran.
I want Polt to lose now so we can cast his match.
Aw. Let's just hop over to my screen real quick and I can show you guys the four amazing groups of the Intel Extreme Masters in Taipei. Group A is with Sen, Hero, Polt, and HyuN. Our first match is going to be Sen vs HyuN. Show a good match, of course. I mean, especially Sen in Taipei as well. Like that's
Oh, yeah.
that's exciting
That's
for
his
me.
stomping ground.
Yep. He did win a tournament there last year and might just be able to do it again. Group B, that is a group that obviously makes my Protoss heart beat a little faster. Classic, Rain, Harstem, my Dutch fellow Protoss brother in arms and all the other good things in life. Harstem is great. And Czech. Czech had to dodge bullets of his teammate Daisy, but he was able to qualify. These Protoss players, Nate, they are not as predictable and they're going to make it a lot harder for him.
Yeah, that's a tough group. Especially, I think it goes without saying, for Harstem and Czech. You've got GSL champion from last year, Classic, and Rain, who's been touted as one of the top Protosses for the last 2 years or so.
Yep. Of course, Group C and D are there as well. We can all go over them real quick. Sun, Live, 4GG, and Soulkey. I think that's an absolutely phenomenal group, but that group will be played tomorrow. And the same goes for Group D. Meru, Parting, Hydra, and True. Well, hype, Nate. Hype.
I don't think I could get more hyped for those matches. I'm really excited to see 4GG and Maru. I think it goes without saying. But yeah, our first match is going to be HyuN versus Sen. So that's ZvZ action.
Yep.
We're getting our lobby invites now. The series is going to begin on Overgrowth.
I have the feeling that is a sentence, Nate, that you are going to say very, 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 very
I
often.
said it all last season in WCS.
Yes.
Pretty much every tournament.
I love how we try to make like Overgrowth into a running joke so everybody would be aware of the fact that this map has truly got to go. And they're like, yeah, this map has got to go. And then they're like, no, wait, let's just bring it back. Everybody
It's like,
loves
but guys,
it.
I'm really scared of playing on maps that aren't Overgrowth.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I mean, okay, get back in the child lock seats.
Like-
Okay, don't worry.
Overgrowth is really going into direction that like Metalopolis was heading into for the longest amount of time.
Yeah.
And everybody was just like, we need Metalopolis, man. It's like one of the most well-balanced
There's
maps
no way
out
you're
there.
gonna be able to win on any other map.
Yeah.
It's like,
And now you put Metalopolis in the Dream Pool and people are like, oh my god, this is the most ridiculous map ever.
how could you do this
Yeah.
to us? You've forsaken us.
And I really feel Overgrowth is the same. I am in general, like, I'm not super picky or whiny about maps. When I play this game, I play on every single map. I just try to enjoy it. I enjoy the variety. If I cast, I'd love to see some variety. But it's really starting to get close to the point already where I'm not going to enjoy StarCraft on this map, Nate.
I vetoed Overgrowth this season, man.
Yeah, it's just like...
I like playing new maps. Maybe I'm weird. I don't know.
No, it's
If I was
not
a
weird.
pro gamer, I understand. Like in a tournament
Yeah.
scene, playing on maps that you're not as experienced on can obviously leave you at a disadvantage.
Yep.
But your opponent should also be at an equal disadvantage, assuming you've both been practicing.
I mean, like, if you guys organize a tournament for casters only and you put like a couple $1,000s on the line, yes, I will actually veto some maps that I'm not going to play.
I veto Overgrowth just
Yeah.
because I know everyone else would really want to play on it.
That is actually a really good strategy too, Nate. But I wasn't even thinking that
That's
far.
why. That's one
Man,
of the
you're already
reasons
ahead of the
why.
meta. That's why you're better than me.
That's Kev, please.
No, but I just like, right now I enjoy StarCraft casually. I play on all the maps, and obviously I want to play on all the maps when I can actually cast on them as well. But it's just like, why? Why does everyone want to play on Overgrowth? Why do we have to see Overgrowth?
The best part is that they didn't bring back King Sejong Station.
Yes.
So now it's actually kind of difficult to see what map 2 will be sometimes.
That's true.
Because oftentimes you don't want to play on Catalina. Usually more so when a Terran's involved, but we've actually seen Catalina games now because they don't want to play on the other maps that badly.
Yeah, Catalina was one of the least favorite maps in the last season's map pool. Of course, you could say the same goes for Deadwing, because Deadwing is one of these maps where if you get 2 bases, then you should be able to get 3, and if you get 3, you should be able to get 4, and you know any race of 4 bases is powerful, whether it's Zerg or Terran or Protoss, and then there's no stopping in game number 5, base number 5, and that's obviously very different than how a map like Overgrowth plays out, in which timings can hit very hard, very sharp.
Yeah,
there's not that much rush
small
decision.
map, yeah, for sure.
Anyways, we are waiting for our first game of the day to start. We have been invited already, like we said, it's going to be played on Overgrowth. HyuN is in the lobby. Sen is not in the lobby yet. This of course
is online though.
Yeah, he'll be here soon. I'm confident he'll be here soon. If you guys be like, man, ZvZ, Roddy Nate, I love you, but I'm not feeling it. Of course, there is a mainstream as well. Twitch.tv/ESLTV_SC2, and that's where you guys can watch Hero versus Polt. That's a cracker, but for everyone with 2 screens, or if you have really good multitasking, you have 2 screens and you have both streams open at the same time. You just listen to.
Let's be real. Watching HyuN play Sen in a ZvZ
in Taipei.
Who wants to watch Hero versus Polt, really?
Well, I might be one of those guys.
When was the last time they played? Hero versus Polt, last time we saw them play was actually at Battlegrounds, right? Last year they played in the online.
Did they play?
Yeah, Hero shreked Polt, like 2-0.
Oh, yeah, this is CJ Enter's Hero, yes. For a second I was thinking about Liquid Hero.
Well, no. CJ Enter's Hero runs game on the Intel Extreme Masters.
Yes, he has actually won this tournament already. You guys just know that. CJ Enter's Hero in IEM is like a falling star. You think you're watching it live, but actually it's not live at all. It has already happened, and he has won this tournament too. Yeah. It's just light years away. But light years in StarCraft 2 is like 4 days, because we're playing in universe.
Well, I mean, you've got, if you have a mothership, you can just recall infinite space time. No worries, Kev.
All right, Nate. We were actually starting, but now we have to re-host the game real quick. Shouldn't be a big deal, though. This allows me to give a big shout-out to all the sponsors of the Intel Extreme Masters. Of course, Intel, and then we have Rocket, Gigabyte, HyperX, and BenQ as well. Thank you guys so much for all the support, making this awesome tournament happen.
Esports.
Yep, saving esports, not just this year. What I love about IEM is that it becomes, you're always hyped for an IEM, and I'm always ready for an IEM, but what I love is that that there's going to be an IEM. It's not something that's like, oh my god,
like, guys, are we gonna have IEM?
Yeah. Or? It's just like, nope. Start of the year is like, all right, 5 stops, and you go, man, that StarCraft 2 tournament is gonna be awesome. That one's gonna be awesome. Hope I'll be working that one or that one. And if not, Nate, we'll just playing in one of them, and we'll win them one day. Either you or me will lift an IEM trophy.
One day they'll have an archive mode IEM. You and I just gonna wreck it all. It can't be stopped.
I actually think we would be pretty good in archive mode. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think we could beat.
What race will we play though? That's a big problem.
Terran, of course. What kind of question is
that? Then I hope you will limit my responsibilities to building supply depots and you'll do the rest. I don't know if you've ever seen me split Marines, Nate, but it's not going very well.
Well, I think it's scary to think how much better I'd be if there was just someone building all my depots for me.
I could build all your depots. I can queue up Marines as well. I can drop the mules.
If you can build Marines and I just micro them, man, I think we've got this.
You got good micro? You got that Nate micro?
Yeah, man, I average like 240 APM. The problem is after the fight's over, I just don't have any units.
I think what we should do though is like, as long as there are 3 Marines on the map, it's my responsibility. And when it goes
yeah. Well, you know what? The best idea is that we just play random. And then if we get Protoss, I do the macro and you do the micro. If we get Terran, then you do the macro and I do the micro. And if we get Zerg, we just cheese and hope for the best.
It's Baneling Blast.
Exactly.
It's like, Archon mode, are you ready?
We do a 10-pool Banelings because there's so few Banelings that you control like the 3 Banelings, like they're your 3 stalkers, and I just run all the
my
links
god, man, I would get
we've got this figured out.
I would get the connections that everyone is dreaming of. There's a Baneling, I know, and that Baneling will be the one I dream of.
Yeah. You get some juicy shots for sure. We rehost the lobby. We're counting down.
Yeah.
So we will be beginning our first series of the day shortly. Thank everybody so much for tuning in. Of course, you can always reach out to us with the hashtag IEM. We like to hear from you. We're going to be here tonight, and you can be with us by tweeting at us and joining the conversation.
Yep, we'll have this match. We'll have the loser match of Group A as well, and then of course the same thing goes for Group B. We'll have a starting match, and then we will have the lower bracket match. I shouldn't call it the loser match, because in my heart they're all champions and they're all good. But then again, if I say that, then Torin gets really mad at me. It's like, if they're all good, then nobody is good. Well, sorry, Torin. In my heart, they're all good. Let's go ahead and hop into Overgrowth for our first game of the night. I do understand Torin's point about that, by the way. I was just having fun. Over here on the left bottom side of the map, we have the best player from Taiwan for the longest amount of time. It is the one and only Sen. Still battling with that curse that Day9 put on him many years ago. And on the right top side of the map we have Cheeky Claras spawning as the blue Zerg. Representing Rocket, it is HyuN busting out the 8-pull.
Well, are we surprised by this? I don't think HyuN is being this cheesy. HyuN is not this cheesy.
Well, HyuN is unpredictable, that's what he is.
Yeah.
And this might actually, he may have looked at a couple of games from Sen. He's like, alright Sen, you play in this Taiwanese esports league all the time. Let's take a look at your build orders. Alright, 85% of the time you go hatch first. This is a number I'm completely making up, by the way. But
who else does fast pulls on this map? How do we know that it's successful? Scarlet
does it.
And she was pretty successful on this map with the quick pulls.
Very successful even. And here we go, Nate. There is a drone heading towards the low ground.
Hatch first. Well.
Alright, so this is really good for HyuN. He should be able to get a cancel on this one for sure, or be able to pick it off. Could also try to go all out and try to go on the drones instead. We'll see. Sen is getting a 16 drone as well. Now he's saving up, so it's going to be hatch first at 15 and then the spawning pool at 16. Needless to say, these Zerglings, they will achieve what they are looking for. If I was Sen, I'd just let the hatchery finish, try to buy time, try to get my own Zerglings out. Eventually he should end up a little bit behind economically, but he shouldn't just die. Should just lose the hatchery, but not die. Yeah, unless he's going to try to save it, but that's where it gets
still
tricky.
built quite a few links to follow this up, so he has the opportunity to let his link count snowball a little bit, cancel the hatch, and then run into the main. Now, if he goes straight for the main, splitting is actually a reasonable choice as well if he wants to deny mining, but
I like
if he doesn't kill the
sometimes.
hatch, he's going to hate his life in the next minute.
Exactly. If he does not kill this hatchery, he is absolutely going to hate his life. Of course, Sen is good enough to micro his drones. He's not going to lose a drone against one of these 3 Zerglings. That will just be unacceptable. Yeah, really solid micro there. It's the small things that make me happy, Nate.
You're just trying to deny mining as much as you can. Oh, he gets one.
Yeah, okay, but like now he already has the Zerglings on the way, and still, this took a while. And these 3 Zerglings have not been working on this hatchery all along. But like you pointed out, there are more Zerglings streaming across the map. So the additional Zerglings, man, you made so many Zerglings.
Yeah, HyuN actually has enough to fight the first wave that Sen would put out, but he'd need to win the fight resoundingly in order to make it work. So he's going to head back home and drone.
But was this a victory now for HyuN? It's 16 drones against 14. The Zergling count is on 9 versus 12. This drone should not die. Don't lose that drone. Okay, that's really unfortunate because this drone could have became a hatchery so much quicker. I would have liked this for Sen quite a bit if that drone didn't die and that drone would have just became a hatch. Now the hatch will go down at identical moments.
Yeah, it's still pretty close for both players. So let's look at the overall, as the gas gets taken as well for Sen. He's at 14 drones versus 16.
Yeah, but
so
just took the drone basically.
Yeah, I mean HyuN built his earlier drones a little bit later, right?
Yep.
So.
Yeah, actually HyuN was down in workers for the longest amount of time. Only in the last 20 seconds in this game he actually overtook. I don't know, I didn't like that he split up the Zerglings. Either you send more Zerglings into the main, like he had massive overkill on that hatchery anyway. Like Sen was never even close to saving that hatch because of the amount of Zerglings that HyuN made. In the end, I guess we just kind of reset this game, and you know this is very even. One thing that HyuN is going for himself, one says that he has 2 queens. Well, he has his 3rd queen a little bit quicker. That is truly the only thing that he has going for himself. I'm very curious to see if Sen is able to make something happen with this much quicker gas that he took, Nate. He's able to research. I won't say he's able to research Zergling Spoot.
He's getting a Baneling Nest before speed, though. So the only reason why I could see him doing this is if he's worried about being attacked and he just wants to build a few Banelings preemptively.
I can't blame him because this hatchery was late, and normally if that hatch is that late, then there could be a Speedling follow-up or a Baneling follow-up.
Yeah, but I don't think he can really get aggressive with this without speed. Like, how are you supposed to get across a map fast enough to do anything? Yeah, he's going to build a spine crawler too. Sen is quite concerned about being hit with any aggressive play. And HyuN also builds a spine, but I like his position more because, well, he doesn't have that Baneling Nest.
No, I mean, he just got the gas so much later, so he's been mining more minerals, and that's why he's slowly but steady pulling ahead economically. Now look at this, firing up that layer. At the 7-minute mark, that's not super quick, but considering the fact that he opened up with an 8 pull, that's pretty damn quick.
Yeah, HyuN actually has a couple of drone lead now with how many he's been able to squeeze out, so he's got to be feeling pretty good there. And then this tech advantage is actually amazing. The Roach Horn and the Lair, everything just rolling so much faster together for HyuN. Unless Sen is about to produce a massive number of Zerglings and try to overwhelm HyuN, he's just straight up behind.
Yeah,
He has to like try to kill HyuN really soon, or I don't see how he's supposed to get his roach speed or upgrades fast enough to really deal with HyuN. Like I think HyuN can just push when he gets +1.
Well, the only thing that Sen can do is go up to 3 bases and then try to deny base number 3 from HyuN. HyuN should not really have a whole lot of units out to protect this base. Sen, if you want to do something about that, you really have to start making Zerglings. Now, of course, that's a risky decision as well, because that means you're wasting a lot of potential larvae that could be drones. And he's actually just going to throw the Roach Horn up. So, yes, the upgrades will be later. Especially like the roach speed is just going to be centuries later.
He started the Roach Horn, but he still doesn't have Lair, which is the most important part for the mid game. So that leads me to believe we're going to see some sort of Roach. It has to be like some sort of Roachaline Bane all-in. Like I mean, he still hasn't started his Lair. He gets +1 attack.
But he's making the Zerglings. No, I guess he just.
I feel like his attack needs to hit faster than +1 finishing up.
I think you're right, though. I think that is exactly what's going to happen here. Sen is going to produce nothing but units. He's going to march across the map with Zerglings, with Banelings, and Roaches. Doesn't have too many free over. No, he's actually just gonna. He makes all these Zerglings, and he's gonna try to kill this base. I don't think he's gonna. Because normally you make the Roaches before the Zerglings. So this massive investment from Sen is just to kill this hatchery. He needs to kill this hatchery, but there are quite a few Roaches out. They don't have +1 yet, so that is at least something. They won't two-shot these Roaches.
And the Queen is here, but he can't transfuse the hatchery until it completes. He will let it finish. There's the first transfuse of Baneling. Okay, using the Baneling to guarantee the hatch kill is nice. I still don't think he has enough to stop HyuN if he were to push with this +1 in roach speed finishing.
But that's risky for HyuN as well, though, because now HyuN has to decide.
Yeah, well, I think HyuN can. I don't mean like HyuN can win the game now, but I think HyuN should be able to deal an equivalent amount of damage back at the third base of Sen. He could try to force the issue, but that is where he's potentially throwing the game.
It will all come down to you know, the defensive reinforcements from Sen. He's going to try to set up a holding ground over here with that Spine Crawler. He has all the queens as well. There's one queen with a lot of energy that gets picked off immediately. And that's not the way that Sen wants to start this battle, because he really could have used those transfuses. And of course, you know, the roach numbers are still in favor of HyuN. Sen is going to try to fight closer and closer to that spine, make that Spine Crawler do some serious work. But I think you're right, Nate. I think HyuN is actually just going to overrun Sen over here.
Pretty impressive play by HyuN. I think the safe option is always to go for the third base when you're thinking about the counterattack, but HyuN, much smarter than I am when it comes to ZvZ. He recognized he had a chance to actually win the game, and he went for it. GG.
Yep. I think if he hits a few seconds later there, that queen is in a better position, that will be able to drop 2 transfuses, then maybe the other queens get enough energy to get transfuses, and then Sen gets a few more reinforcements.
Yeah, having a 100 energy queen like that just gets sniped.
In the start of the battle, that's deadly. Interesting ZvZ here, a lot of mind games, definitely a very high level play in which even, you know, despite us having Fog of War turned off, we have sometimes trouble understanding everything. You have to be a top level Zerg to truly understand all the thought process that goes through their minds. But, you know, I understand what Sen was trying to do over there. I felt he could have, you know, maybe if he felt like if he would have done it quicker with the Zerglings, then he's just hurting his own economy too much, and he's never able to drag this game on any further.
It's just tricky when you're in that spot because HyuN had everything faster, right? Yep. And unless you commit to the Ling Bane all-in or Roach Bane, there's no way that you end up ahead against a player who's on slightly ahead economy, faster lair. I mean, Sen never even got a lair, and you know, faster +1 attack, faster Roach speed because he has a lair. Like, those are the upgrades that really allow you to win the game. You know, without that, slow roaches have a very difficult time moving across the map fast enough to punish somebody.
Yeah, I mean, HyuN definitely took a small risk going up to layer before even having a Baneling Nest. He never even got a Baneling Nest in the first place. And also, he didn't really make a whole lot of Zerglings, but, you know, Sen didn't take his gas that quickly. HyuN did take his gas relatively quick. Sen was obviously worried about a follow-up attack from HyuN early on because of the... You know, the amount of Zerglings that HyuN made, his hatchery was actually quite a bit later. And normally if a player opens up with 8 pool, they can still build a slightly quicker hatch. But the hatch was so late that I think Sen was expecting a speed follow-up, and that's why he made the defensive Baneling Nest at first. Anyways, that was game number 1.
This
Lots
guy.
of mind games, lots of crazy tactics being used by both players, but especially by this man. Representing Rocket, it's HyuN. Once again, 8 pool.
Yeah, the 8-pool dream.
And over here on the top side of the map, we have the champion of many Taiwanese esports leagues. And of course, last year he won the Taiwanese Esports Open as well. I believe that was the title of the tournament that he won. It is Sen, one of the only 2 foreigners to win a Premier League tournament in 2014. And with foreigners, of course, we are referring to the non-Koreans out there.
Sen is going hatch first again. This Overlord for HyuN should see it, but I don't think he'll see it in time. Actually, seeing Sen's Overlord should tell him more than enough, at least that's where he spawned. How many lings is HyuN gonna make?
Probably the same amount as he did in the last game, because there's no reason for him to do it different. Catalina is also slightly larger than Overgrowth.
Ooh, Sen squeezes out 1 drone before the pool. How many
is-
more? What else is he gonna build?
There's actually one
If he
less
gets
than he did.
another drone, I'm gonna be scared.
No, he's not. He would have made it before if he did
Okay.
that.
So
this
15
time it's
pool.
15-15. Last game it was 15-16. He's getting gas again. I wonder if he's going to cancel gas. These Zerglings, are they going to get spotted by this Overlord or not? Yes, they will. So Sen knows exactly what's up. Is he going to cancel it? Yes, he is. I think if HyuN does it in the exact same way as he did in the last game, Nate, I think Sen has a chance of holding this. Man, he makes so many Zerglings though. Maybe not. Because he makes way more. Okay, everything
Yeah,
is going to
he
the main
really-
this time.
he really
Oh my
heavily
god, he's gonna work in the spawning pool. Are you kidding me?
No,
Is that a thing?
You can't win the game without the spawning pool, man.
Is that a thing?
He's gonna kill it. All the drones are being pulled, and this means that the drones fighting in the open are in a much worse position than they normally be to fight. He's just gonna kill off a bunch of the
Wow.
workers. Yes, the pool finishes, Kev, but you know it comes at a high cost.
Well, it comes at a cost of 2 hatcheries as well, though, and he's still up in workers. And now Sen starts with 8 Zerglings. I actually think in the end this went okay for Sen, but there are still a few more Zerglings being very annoying, trying to get every single drone.
Got
Got
2
2
more.
drones. Yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah, and keep in mind, of course, he still forced all these, all this larva to go right into lings.
I still think it's very good for Sen, though. The only thing that HyuN has going from... Oh, 1 more drone there?
12 versus 9 now.
Yeah, okay. 9 is truly where your economy starts to hurt quite a bit. HyuN will have the queen. That's nice. But Sen has 2 hatcheries. That's super nice, Nate.
I'm not sure how to look. I'm not really not sure what to make of all this.
Oh, nice drone walk there. Or mineral walk,
Yeah.
I should say.
His whole goal is to just sack these for at least another drone kill. If he gets 2 more, I think that's fantastic for him. But getting 1 be tricky. It's so
he's gonna get it,
low.
though.
Okay, he gets that tap. All right, and that should be all. That should be all he picks up here. But
Alright, so now we're looking at 16 drones versus 14. But Sen, of course, has 2 hatcheries. Of course, there is 1 queen out there for HyuN, so he's able to sort of keep up in larva production. But his own hatch is so much later that I still really like this position for Sen. And let's not forget, there are 8 Zerglings on the map for Sen, and 7 of them are marching across the map now, which is going to force HyuN to either reposition his queens or make Zerglings, and he really doesn't want to make Zerglings right now. He wants to make sure that he doesn't fall too far behind in the drone count. Man,
I
that
feel
point-
like the queen should be able to handle this. He has the 3rd one finishing quite soon too. But oh, it doesn't block the ramp. Okay, he gets these. Oh, this isn't too bad then. If he doesn't actually get any, we shouldn't be able to kill anything. Not a big deal.
Yep.
Oh, he's nibbling on one of those drones. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is that Ling? Okay. Ling almost got a kill.
Is he nibbling on the drone, Claros?
He's nibbling on it.
23 drones, we can truly see how important it is to have 2 hatcheries that early. Just gives you so much additional larva to work with. And even though when your queen is a little bit later, you'll still be able to pull yourself ahead in the worker department. There's still 1 very happy Zergling from HyuN that's been alive forever in the main base of Sen. Now Sen, as soon as that Zergling got picked off, throws down both extractors. I have no idea where he's going to go with this. Might just be for layer, might be for something crazy as well. But considering the fact that there are already 2 queens out, and he saw that there were 2 queens out, and he knows that HyuN has his own expand up and running as well. I'm kind of expecting this game to just sort of stabilize from here, Nate.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. HyuN is still... it's
He's getting Zergling speed
I'm
this
trying
time.
to get a really good grip on this game, but this is, I guess, where it becomes quite clear that I'm not a Zerg player, Kev.
It's been very even all along. I think it was okay-ish with Sen, but those extra Zerglings really, you know, made it worth it for HyuN. If that didn't happen, like if this would have ended up with 14 versus 12 instead of 14 versus 9, I think 14 versus 9 made it acceptable. I still kind of like Sen's position though. I really think that he has handled it well, that he played it well, and that he played well from that point on.
Well, now let's see where he goes. As HyuN kills one of his own creep tumors so that he can open up a spot for the Roach Warren, allowing him to block everything off. Let's look at some of the other stuff that's going to affect this game, though. I'm really wondering when we're going to see one of these players grab a lair, because they both have enough gas for one, but obviously we're heading back into that territory where we saw Sen play very aggressively with his Zergling speed when it finished. Getting 1-1 now. And if Roach Warren finishing up soon, still no lair. Okay, getting both upgrades first is okay, but he needs to start the lair really soon then.
He could do something weird, but I mean, both players could still change their mind at the last moment. Right now, this definitely screams macro game with both evolution chambers, researching stuff at the same time. HyuN is making 20 Zerglings though, and he does have Zergling speed. That's an upgrade he didn't have in the before. This Roach Warren, well, it's definitely not a fake because he's getting missile attacks, but he doesn't have to use it right here and right now. Sen on the other hand, I don't know if that's a soul read or not, Nate, but he's making the same amount of Zerglings, just a little bit later, so that should be good news for him. And of course, he has this base already up and running, and that is going to be the biggest advantage he will be able to find himself in this game.
Yeah, a bunch of things though are going to run across the map for HyuN. Like you said, Sen's told him, okay, let's just build a bunch of lings as well. And I think it's HyuN actually basically waited this ramp instead of, can't quite get a full surround. Oh, his reinforcements coming.
Whoa, does get the surround in the end, and now things get a little bit tricky. There are 20 more Zerglings in production. The Queen is already in a pretty good position though for Sen, but Sen is going to be forced to build Zerglings for days. He starts off with Roaches now as well, and he's getting a few more Roaches, and that should be good enough actually, because HyuN was making Zerglings behind this as well all along, and I don't think that those Zerglings are going to pay for itself anymore.
It's going to be tricky, but important things to keep note of moving forward here. HyuN, he got the +1 Carapace with that attack. If and or when he starts to put Roaches into his army composition, I think it's still a very powerful force to have. Yeah. Also, once again, I have to say, Sen, no lair. Okay, now just starting at the 11-minute mark. This is as late as it gets, Kev.
Yep. He's going to try to surround all these Roaches in the middle of the map. +1 is not ready yet. It's ready in a few seconds, though.
+1 doesn't even matter for Sen's Roaches because there's Carapace for HyuN's Lings. He can't kill them with 2 shots anyway. It makes them so much more effective at fighting against these. It's like, yeah, you don't want to usually fight with Lings against Roaches, but you know, at the very least, you're not getting completely Shrek'd, and this buys time for HyuN to get his superior Roaches as well.
I definitely think that's the perfect way to summon up that
I think it actually makes the Ling versus Ling fight really favor HyuN, even if he's down on the overall Zergling count too.
But something that is that Sen is still up in is the Roach count. Despite losing a few in the middle of the map, he had a nice advantage in the Roaches, but it all took a little while. The Zerglings bought time. Now a few more Roaches spawned for HyuN. One of the Queens does get surrounded, but I like how HyuN is handling this so far. This looks intimidating, but I think HyuN will be fine. He's going to end up losing maybe a second Queen, but I still think that HyuN should be able to stabilize here with those defensive reinforcements coming in so much quicker.
Yeah, and his Roach is just being a little bit beefier than Sen.
Look at the micro as well. Okay,
and now Roach speed is done. So HyuN has a much more microable force. Sen, he just finished up his lair. Roach speed isn't even a thought in his mind right now, and this allows HyuN to attack. And even if Sen somehow defends, his army just moves really slow, so counterattacking is going to be a pain.
Yeah, I actually think defending is going to be a pain already, Nate. It's 60 army supply against 24. HyuN just microed better in that fight. Had good unit positioning all along, stabilized, used transfuses, tried to keep his Queens alive for as long as possible. He's still using Zerglings as well to trap Roaches that are trying to run away. I actually think this is a moment where HyuN can just straight up win this game. Using Contaminate as well on the Roach Warren, so no Roach speed for you, Sen.
Just smart play from HyuN as he takes game number 2. And very clean, easy series for HyuN it looked like. Opening up with the crazy aggressive plays, really showing that he had a pretty good understanding of the way that Sen liked to play the game. I feel like if you do that against someone who opens pool first, you're really, really risking just throwing the series off to build order losses.
Yep, you're definitely going to find yourself pretty far behind. What I loved most about this game was that one fight that you said in the middle of the map where he had +1 Carapace on the Zerglings. He was able to surround 6 or 7 Roaches that were a little bit ahead of the rest of the party. He was able to get a surround off. He picked off 4 or 5 while he was nibbling away at those roaches. Then eventually, of course, more reinforcements streamed across the map, but that allowed HyuN to get so many more roaches out at home, also get his queens together, put him in a good position. He just made the best of that situation.
If you try to defend with Lings in a scenario like that, and you don't have the +1 carapace, I think Sen's +1 attack league
was 2 seconds
roaches really, really annihilate Lings, especially in small numbers like that when you have the +1 attack against them without the carapace. So just HyuN recognized, like, I don't need to build roaches yet, you know? And for HyuN, that's a pretty big personal achievement, as the man who, you know, we like to call the Roach King from time to time would oftentimes build roaches instead of anything else.
Well, that is going to do it for the first series of the day. 2 8 pools for HyuN will allow him to move on into the winners match of Group A, where he will go up against either Hero or Polt. That game is currently being streamed at twitch.tv/ESLTV_SC2. So you guys can watch the main stream there. Of course, you get a couple of cool shots from the venue as well. Nate and I, we're just here in our studio in Southern California. But we're having a good time, and we're excited to be bringing you guys some of the games of the Intel Extreme Masters Taipei. Makes us feel like we're part of this as well. Of course, shout out to all the sponsors. Nate, here we go, one more time. Thanks to Intel, Gigabyte, HyperX, BenQ, and Rocket, as Rocket's very own player actually just advanced to the winners match. So they can be happy so far, Nate.
Nice.
Not only are they saving esports, they are being saved by their player.
Their player is esports.
That's true. We're going to do a very small break, and after that we'll be back with the match between Sen and the loser of Hero versus Bolt. So stay tuned, you're watching the secondary stream of the Intel Extreme Masters Taipei Day 2.